Right.
Yes, sir.
So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Today is day 5, Freedom from PCOS. And the holistic approach. So, most of you might be wondering why I didn't talk about any kind of hormones or symptoms or treatment or diet plans, all this stuff. So most of you might be knowing all these things already. So I don't want to go into the basics, right? Which you are already doing or which you already know. So when I say holistic, um, holistic approach is not treating the disease separately, but apart from disease, we also try to look into the cause of the cause and try to address the person who is having the problem. So that is called holistic approach. Okay, so let's finish off our today's session. And day 1, we looked into the story, and day 2, we looked into acceptance, and day 3, we looked into the concept of decluttering, and day 4, we discussed about forgiveness. I'm sorry I posted it very late at 5 p.m. today because I had few issues with my system, and that is the reason why the quality of audio in the first 3 videos is not that good. And this has come out really nice. Hopefully, you will get a better experience with video number 4. And yes, day number 5. Day 4 is forgiveness, the importance of forgiveness in managing PCOS or any chronic lifestyle disease. And the 5th principle that we are going to discuss today is creative visualization. Okay, let me share my screen with you all. Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So day 5 is for creative visualization. So we have seen that how our stories and the way we, what we say, create our reality, physical reality and physiological reality, is the kind of thoughts we harbor and the kind of emotional profile we have or we maintain. So those things create our reality. And the moment we accept whatever reality we have and delete all those things, right, then you need to recreate the kind of reality you would want. So if we can create something, right, that means the power of creation is within us. So if unknowingly we created sickness in our body, right, or unconsciously, we can consciously as well create health. That's what holistic approach offers us, right? So let's see what an illness is. What this? If you have a plumbing issue in your house and you call a plumber and he fixed it, but by the time it is evening, again you had the same problem and you call him again and he fixed it. The next day and the every day he is coming and fixing it. Are you comfortable with this solution? How many of
No.
you are comfortable with this solution? Every day the person is coming morning and evening, right? And he is trying to fix those issues. Every day he is coming, right? We don't. But unfortunately, if you look at chronic lifestyle diseases, whether it is PCOS, infertility, hypothyroidism, diabetes, you name it, we are doing exactly the same thing with our body, right? Pills are supposed to heal the condition or cure the condition, but we are just managing it. So these diseases are called chronic lifestyle diseases. So if you are doing this, if you have a problem, you go to a doctor, right, wearing a white lab coat and sitting in their office, and uh, when we go to them with some kind of complaint, they do certain examinations and look for certain signs, do the blood workup, come up with a title saying that you have this particular problem, right? And then they start either medication or surgery depending upon the case. And this is called sick care, but not health care. Sick care is different from healthcare. So what is healthcare? So in healthcare, I mean, being healthy, there are different levels. There is freedom from sickness, right? And there is moderate health, and there is positive health. So health is a spectrum, right? It is not something that is either or. Either or. So it doesn't follow all or none law. Either you have it all or none. No, health is a spectrum, right? Being healthy and being sick is a total spectrum. So what is health then? Any activity that you do, you improve your current state of health. Say, for example, you are able to run only 2 miles or 2 kilometers. Okay. And now you improve that to 5 kilometers or 5 miles every day. That is becoming healthy. That is healthcare. So if your heart rate is 90 beats per minute, and with exercise you are able to bring it down to 60 beats per minute, that is healthcare, right? So if you are able to get only sound sleep for 5 hours and you try to improve your sleep by 7 hours, this is called healthcare. So waking up refreshed every morning with a lot of enthusiasm, without any lethargy, or having restful sleep, is also considered healthcare. So what is this pill or drug doing in our body? See, most of the chronic diseases address only the symptom or the root cause. If somebody is having irregular cycles or periods, what do the doctor or your physician or gynec or whosoever you go to, or endocrinologist, what do they do? They give you this OC pills, and they give you hormonal tablets, and with withdrawal, again, you get your periods. So here, irregular periods is only one of the symptoms of PCOS, right? We are addressing the symptom only, but not the root cause. What caused this thing? So this romance with medicine or pills has started with, unfortunately, with Alexander Fleming, 1928. So why I'm saying unfortunate is, when he discovered penicillin, which is quite by an accident, it is able to cure so many infectious diseases, right? And since then, the doctors or the medical community is after some or the other kind of molecule, whether it is an antibiotic or antiemetic or painkillers or whatnot. I mean, there are so many drugs that have come about, right? But incidentally, this is like 100-year-old paradigm. We no longer suffer with any kind of infectious diseases. We all suffer with chronic non-communicable diseases. PCOS is one such health condition. I mean, today morning we had like one of the sessions on PCOS, and where one of the senior dietitians, she mentioned very clearly that when we were studying almost 20 years back, PCOS was not that big an issue. But these days, it has become so prevalent. In India itself, with conservative estimates, 20% of the women, that is 1 in 5. But I would say that's only an estimate. I would say 30 to 40% of the women, they have problem with this. And why the conventional medicine is unable to address it effectively. When I say conventional medicine, I'm not just talking about allopathy, even medical nutrition therapy. I mean, I see so many questions like what kind of diet one should take. So when you say that, you are seeing body as something, as a machine. We call heart as a pump. When you try to see heart as a mechanical pump, right? So what happens if there is a problem? You try to fix it, right? But it is not. I mean, we are not looking into the cause. If it is broken, we think that, okay, just like we fix a car or we fix a machine, we can fix it. So this is the mechanistic model of body, human body, that is creating the problem. So when you say pump, I mean, as I said, we try to see that as something that needs fixation, but it is not. What caused the problem in the first place? We refuse to see that. Even the problem, another problem with the conventional management of PCOS is the study design itself, right? We all know, like, I mean, 7th, 8th standard chemistry, if you mix sodium hydroxide with hydrochloric acid, you mix an acid with an alkali or a base, you get salt and water, right? Sodium chloride plus water. If you do this reaction anywhere in the world, given the standard conditions, anywhere in the world, whether you do it in Sri Lanka or Switzerland or US, right? You get the same reaction. But unfortunately, what happens is, if someone is able to come out of, I mean, this medical science is called science of averages and statistics, right? So say, for example, let me ask you this. I mean, even for coronavirus, it is not a sure shot and 100% protective enough, right? They say, I mean, we have given vaccine to these many people, it worked in so many people, so they come up with an average that okay, it probably works, right? So medical science is not a pure science, unlike other sciences, just like physics, mathematics, and chemistry works. So here there is something else that is going on. Okay, so but unfortunately, when you have a problem, whether it is hypothyroidism or PCOS or insulin resistance or obesity, whatever it is, when you know that it works on averages, it will not work when it comes to chronic conditions, not all health conditions, right? Chronic conditions, we work on averages, right? We rely on heavily on. So let me give you an example. If there are like 100 students in a class and 99 people have scored less than 70% and only one person scored 100 out of 100 in an exam, right? So what do we say? I mean, statistically, what is it? So this person who is able to score 100 out of 100 according to statistics, because 99% of the people scored 70%, means this guy is an odd man, right? He's an outlier. We discard this, unfortunately. So why I'm saying this, almost like 7-8 years back, when I posted something on Facebook about diabetes reversal, Facebook blocked my account. You cannot post saying that diabetes can be reversed. And look at the condition now. I mean, we see ads and we see programs that offer diabetes reversal. Everyone is talking about diabetes reversal, right? So what happens is, if a person is able to cure his cancer, cure his like PCOD or fibroid or infertility, we are not studying what worked in them. Right? We take average and we say that this is evidence based. We give this medicine and it worked in only one person, but we saw some mediocre result in rest of the people. So the point I'm trying to make is, when you look at the excellence, right? When you see something worked, someone is able to reverse their diabetes or reverse their PCOS or reverse their hypothyroidism and do not require any kind of medication, we are supposed to read that. We are not reading that, because as I said, medicine, though it is not a pure science, it tries to emulate science. That is the problem with conventional medicine. That is the reason why more and more women are suffering with PCOS and infertility. And there are so many sad stories when it comes to giving life, starting a family. The kind of trauma they go through is like phenomenal. I mean, very gut-wrenching, right? So that is the reason why we need a separate approach, right? What should be the approach? We live in a model, 3-dimensional model called Newtonian model. So that is linear in nature. We need linear, means a straight line. A leads to B, B leads to C, C leads to D, something like that. That is a linear. But that model will not work, right? When it comes to addressing chronic lifestyle conditions, we need more of a holistic or a quantum approach. So Newtonian physics, right? Don't get scared. I'm not trying to teach you physics over here. Newtonian physics died almost 100 years back. The same year, 1928, Paul Dirac is a amazing British physician. I mean, a physicist. I'm sorry, physicist. He has come up with mathematical formula for quantum physics. Quantum physics says everything that we see in our world, in our physical world, is made up of things that are not real, right? There is no physical reality. So Newtonian physics has gone down. I mean, Newtonian physics try to explain so many things, how these things are happening. But at the same time, we are still stuck with whatever our Alexander Fleming has discovered. We are still stuck with these painful pills and surgeries, right? So we don't require that. Let's try to understand this linear model. So we doctors are like dietitians. How do we approach a problem? There is a step one, there's step two, there's step three, and step four, and step five, right? So a molecule comes into our body, it gets processed, it gets absorbed, it goes into the circulation, and finally gets into the cell. An enzyme acts on it. There are so many steps. Why your body is producing more androgens? Why PCOS patients suffer with this excessive male pattern hair, unwanted hair on their face and rest of the body parts? Why do they get it? Right? We see that, okay, we identify androgens are excess. Let's say out of all this process, this particular part is not working. So try to fix this. Give a molecule and try to fix this one. We are not looking at, right, why it is not working, what caused it. So this is linear model. But we are looking for, as I said, looking for a bad apple in a complex reaction, trying to fix that with a supermolecule. Supermolecule in the sense like a pill, a drug. Okay. So we try to fix that. This is called a linear model or Newtonian model. But if you look at a holistic approach, right, I explained it very clearly in lesson day 1, right? When you squeeze a lemon in your mouth waters, there is a saliva production. Okay. Even if we are contemplating on eating your food, what happens is all the cells in your body gets that information instantaneously. Every hormone, let's say this is insulin, and let's say this is adrenaline, and let's say this is dopamine, and this is a serotonin, and this is, let's say, estrogen. So every hormone is connected to every other hormone. It is all happening at a rapid pace. There are an estimated 2 billion reactions. 2 billion means 200 crore reactions happening in our cell in a second. And we have close to 70 to 100 trillion cells. Look at the complexity of human body. You got it, right? So we have 70 lakh crore cells, and each cell is doing 200 crore reactions per second, chemical reaction. That is how our body, how complex is our body is. Right? So everything is connected to everything. If you are eating a banana, it is not just the job of your digestive system to digest it. So your excretory system will come to know about it. That means kidney. Your lungs will come to know about it. Your immune system come to know about it. Your skin comes to know about it. Every cell informed of our actions. And the way you are eating, as I said, your body understands only emotions. When you are eating with that banana, crying and without any joy or happiness, right? The way the body processes that particular food is different from when you are eating with happiness. So if you look at this holistic model, this gives us a window of opportunity to address the problem from the root cause. Okay. So how do we do that? As I said, health is a spectrum. We need to identify where do we stand in the health spectrum. So unrecognized sickness is still considered as sickness. Okay. Freedom from sickness is still sickness, but at least you don't have to take any kind of medication for that. And moderate health and positive health, these are the things that we need to look at. If you are suffering with any kind of chronic lifestyle disease, you are experiencing severe sickness. So the symptomatic treatment, how do we let go? I mean, the problem with the symptomatic treatment. Let's say, I mean, our body is made up of cells. I mean, these are functional units of our body, a single cell. These same kind of cells come together and form a tissue, right? And these tissues, different kinds of tissues come together and form an organ. And in our human body, there are different organ systems. We have, say, for example, this kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra, all these things are different organs come together and they perform a single function. We call this as an organ system. Similarly, we have respiratory system, cardiovascular system, digestive system, nervous system. So there are different systems and that forms a human body. So human body is like a family, right? Group of family members. So whenever there is a problem, right? Whenever there is a problem, that means there is some kind of discomfort, whether it is like irregular periods or painful periods or delayed periods, whatever it is like your body is trying to cry out, right? Why do children cry usually? What do we do when children cry? It's the question, not a trick question. What do we do?
We try to give them some kind of easiness to make them stop crying.
Yeah, we try to comfort them, right?
Depending upon the situation and depending upon the age of the child, we try to comfort them.
Right. So let me ask you another question. If a child is playing without disturbing you and on his own or on her own, playing, jumping, running around, and there is absolutely no problem with that, do we pay attention to them?
No, sir.
We don't pay.
We are happy at least they are not disturbing us, right?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely not. Yes, yes.
So, and if the kid falls down and hurts himself or herself, right, and they are experiencing pain, they cry. Okay. And immediately we stop whatever we are doing and go to them. Okay. So yes. The child picks up this. The child picks up, okay, when I'm playing, they are not taking care of me. But if I cry, they will come to me immediately. Okay. From then on, we are teaching them a wonderful lesson that I care for you only if you are crying. Yeah. So body also learns this behavior from us. So as long as the body is healthy, we are not worried about it, right? We eat whatever we want. We do whatever we wanted to do with our life. Okay. And we never care for it. We try to look into our body only when we experience pain. So symptoms are just like babies crying, looking for attention. Okay. It is hurtful. See, you are doing something wrong with your life and it is hurting. So we need to look, we should not, what do you say? Shut the symptoms down by taking some kind of medication. If there is a back pain, if there is an acidity, taking antacids is not a solution. Got it? If you have hypothyroid problem, for how long you are going to have this hypothyroid, thyroid medication? Lifetime? There must be a cause, right? Not everyone's thyroid and not everyone's ovaries are polycystic. But you have that problem means gods are not angry with you. Your planets are not angry with you. Your natal chart or something or your parents' genes are not angry with you, right? We did something seriously wrong with our life. So we need to understand where it went wrong. But instead, what we are doing, we do this. If a kid is crying, we are shutting them off forcefully. Are we doing this? Exactly, we are doing this if we are relying completely on medication without making any lifestyle changes, without approaching the problem in a holistic way, right? We are just cutting the branches, right? We are mowing the lawn, right? We are not completely weed out those grass, right? So how to reverse PCOS? What is the approach? I told you all that I'm not going to teach you physics, but please bear with me. In a couple of minutes, I try to explain what is quantum physics and how it is related to our healthcare and how it helps, how quantum physics helps us in reversing the condition. Okay. So physics is the branch of science that deals with the structure of matter and how the fundamental constituents of the universe interact. It studies objects ranging from the very small using quantum mechanics to the entire universe using general relativity. So this is the definition of physics according to Britannica. Okay. So anything that is physical in nature, right? What is the nature of this matter? Physics, the scope of physics is to study that particular aspect. Okay. So human body, this body is made up of, as I said, organs, and these organs are made up of tissues. Tissues are same kind of cells. And what are these cells made up of? We say that a cell is a functional unit, right? If a cell is a functional unit, what are they made up of? They are made up of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and a combination of these three things, right? And water. And what these carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are made up of? Right? Anyone?
The smallest particles.
Yes. What are they?
Atoms.
Right. Okay. They are we. That means our body, we are made up of atoms. That means the smallest and indivisible particle. According to atom, it is indivisible. Right? So when they coined the term, but we know how to break the atom also now. The atoms are made up of now the subatomic particles. Right? And what these subatomic particles are made up of?
Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen.
Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, all of them are atoms. Right? They are made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. And what this, I mean, electron doesn't have any mass. It is only a charge. Only proton and neutrons have mass. Right? And protons and neutrons are made up of subatomic particles. When scientists try to see what these subatomic particles are made up of, they realized that it is not, they are not made up of matter. They exist in two states simultaneously. They exist as energy as well as a particle. Right? Just let it sink in. E equals mc square. Remember Einstein's famous equation. Energy equals mass into the speed of light squared. E equals mc square. What Einstein proposed is every matter is made up of energy. And the science of the branch of physics that deals with subatomic particles, right, are simply particles, is called particle physics or quantum physics. Right? So the physicists, they have gone deep into what is this made up of. I mean, the mic I am speaking to, the monitor I am seeing, the camera I am using, everything is made up of matter. Right? My human body, I mean, this human body is made up of matter. And they are made up of subatomic particles. And these subatomic particles are not matter at all. They are not solid. They are energy. Right? So these subatomic particles are made of energy. This science, as I said, is called. So we are both matter as well as energy. So if you remember your chemistry textbook and all, I mean, these are the models, right? We come up with for molecules, but in fact, they are not solid like this. So this is an atom and these are two atoms and they are connected with an energy bond. Okay. But in fact, we are all energy, right? Energy means it does have a frequency. This is the physical body that we are seeing, but in fact, this is the energy body we have. We exist in these both states. Okay. So to understand this, I mean, those of you who are old enough to understand what this is, right? Is a roll of film. So in olden days, we used to have something known as projectors, film projectors in theaters, right? So, and this film is being projected through light onto a screen. And if you run, the film contains all still pictures. The film contains all still pictures, but if you run them at a speed 24 frames per second, it appears as if the images are moving. One image imposes on another, and it gives us an impression that as if it is moving. Okay, it is so fast that though they are still pictures, we see a motion picture. Is this clear or confusing? Clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
It is,
clear.
yeah, you got it, right? So similarly, our body, energetic body, becomes solid, goes into energy state, becomes solid, and this happens a million times in a second. Now, are you able to get it? Let's go back to this particular thing. This and this are constantly changing, right? Moving from energy body to physical body to energy body. It is happening so rapid, and our eye cannot perceive it. Okay, if a film is projected, just how we are unable to see the still pictures but a motion picture. Got it? Our body, our senses, our eyes cannot see atoms becoming energy and becoming solid, becoming energy and becoming again turning back to solid. So we cannot perceive that. So for us, it appears as if it is a solid object. So who is creating? If, let's say, these subatomic particles are Lego blocks, right? We can create whatever we want out of this creative, depending upon our creativity, right? If you are feeling happy, joyful, okay, immediately your body becomes lighter, and you are creating a certain kind of physiology with your emotion, right? So all the subatomic particles come together and give you a sense of energetic, lighter, joyful feeling. So every second of our life, we are creating this particular reality. Whatever our life is, I mean, our parents, our spouse, or it could be children or in-laws or relatives, friends, work, career, colleagues, everything. I mean, even the house you are living in, the car you are driving, the bike you have, everything is called forth into existence with our participation. We are creating that particular reality, right? It is not solid, but it is our intention and whatever we feel about ourselves. I told you in one of the classes in the last 4 days that don't say, I have thyroid, I have PCOS. Don't own it. It is not a property to boast so happily, right? If you have a fixed asset, you can say, I have a house over here and I have a land over there. Okay. That you can say, it is mine, I have. But don't own the disease, because body cannot take a joke, right? We discussed an example also. What is that example? That don't think of a monkey wearing black goggles and a red hat. What do you see in your mind's eye? Same monkey with goggles and red hat. Why is it happening? Because our body, our mind cannot take a joke. Everything you say it takes it for reality. That's why there is one principle in NLP, neuro linguistic programming, that fake it till you make it, right? I use it. I mean, I use it with Google Pay. How many of you use Google Pay? Most of you use Google Pay, right? So when you buy something using Google Pay, they'll give you a reward. And most of the time, we used to get better luck next time, isn't it? But I changed it. Every time I rub the scratch card, I say that better luck this time. I read it like better luck this time. Okay, what you choose to, because Newtonian model, this perceived body or reality is coming from nothingness. It is pure potentiality. Anything you want is already there. But whatever you are repeatedly saying to yourself and saying to others, right? That creates our reality. I have PCOS, I have PCOS, I have PCOS, I have painful periods, I have painful periods. If you are meditating like that, I have thyroid, I am fat, I am fat, I am fat, I am gaining fat. I mean, eating this ice cream will make me fat, eating this chocolate will make me fat. Tadastu, right? So be it. Amen. Right? So your body will do whatever you command. So there is a genie, right? Like Aladdin and genie, right? You know that, like when you rub the that particular lamp, the genie will come and fulfill your wishes. Similarly, whatever you say to yourself, you are creating that reality. And this is what physics told us 100 years back. That is the reason why I say that we are 100 years late and 100 years old in managing our healthcare. It needs to be changed. Okay. So earlier we used to think that once the body is made, right, it is like fixed. If there is a damage, there is a damage. But what quantum physics or holistic health teaches us is every day we are designing our life. Every day we are designing our life. So whatever you choose to, I mean, that is the reason why I gave you that PDF on the day one itself. So look at your emotional guidance system. What are your emotional hygiene like? So throughout the day, how you are spending your day? Are you pumped up? Are you cheerful? Are you joyful? Or on the other side, you are worried, tensed, anxious, right? If you are anxious, you are worried about the future. You are depressed, you are thinking about the past, but you are not living in the present moment. Okay? This present moment is creating your reality. If we understand this principle, it is quite easy, right? To reprogram whatever is not working with us, we can reprogram those belief systems. We can rewrite our story, starting from atom to single-celled living beings to forests, mountains, the whole galaxies. Everything is made up of, is come to become physical from this quantum field are called pure potentiality. So 1928, as I said, Paul Dirac proved that there is nothing like physical, there is nothing like permanent. Everything is malleable, everything is programmable. But still, even though the physicist proved that you are creating your reality, we are still stuck with the same old paradigm that body is a machine that needs to be fixed. So whether you accept this particular argument or not, you cannot not use those quantum principles. This is how your body works, right? So we need to come out of this illusion that this is a physical body and it needs fixation. So it can fix only when you fix your thought process. You fix your approach towards life. So that is called holistic approach. And what we have in offering, as we told you already, I train dietitians and other healthcare professionals in this holistic approach. And 17 of our coaches, I mean, they're all being trained under these holistic principles. They know how to look into your problem, what is the cause exclusively in your case for that particular problem. And they've been under my training for so long, and they know all the issues regarding PCOS and how to look for the solution. And because each and every person's case is different. Okay, there are like no two PCOS cases are equal, right? If you are asking for a PCOS diet or a PCOS recipe, that means you are again doing a mistake. Got it? There are 740 crore people in this entire world. Pay attention to this particular question. There are 740 people in this world as of today. Can you find an exact replica of you in this 740 crore population? Never before, never ever after, right? You are the only one. That means what? You are 1 in 740 unique designer piece, isn't it? So don't compare yourself with others and don't look for the solutions which others are using. That is the problem. The reason why India is one of the sickest nations. Is there any family in India who don't have their micro pharmacy? Right? We all have that pharmacy box, right? On top of our refrigerator or in almara. We have painkiller for stomach ache, for body aches, okay, for headache, whatnot. For all the aches, we have medications, right? We take them as if we are consuming candies, right? We don't require that. right? Body is not something to be fixed. You need fixation, and your cause is totally different, right? That is the reason why we created this program, and they can help you with, I mean, we designed a 3 months program wherein they spend time with you on a weekly basis, try to understand you, try to understand, pinpoint what exactly created problem in you. So some of you, if you want to understand still, um, if you still want to understand what exactly is your cause, or I mean, I told you that you are the cause, unknowingly you created it, and you can undo that. Got it? But still, if you want to know the physiology behind, the pathophysiology behind whatever is happening in our body, right? If you're interested in learning that, I have 2 videos on the pathophysiology, the science behind that, and everything explained very clearly. I'm sharing those links for you in the chat box now. You can go through that. Okay, where is chat? Okay, yeah. Everyone unmuted. So you can go through these links, those who are interested. I mean, if there are any dietitians who joined for this session, if you want to understand how ovaries work, how hormones are produced, what are different types of PCOS, what are the symptoms, why those symptoms, and all these both are explained in these 2 videos. You can go through them. The reason why I didn't do that is because most of the information is available, and if you are suffering with PCOS and you are a non-medical person, you don't have to go through that, right? PCOS diagnosis, as I mentioned in my initial statement itself on day 1, the diagnosis is the job of a doctor. So the doctor prescribes only pills, and pills are not a permanent solution, at least for PCOS and other chronic diseases. So you need to fix yourself. You have to look into the cause. As I said, health, wealth, and relationship, everything is connected. There are 7 areas in your life which your counselors will look into and try to identify the imbalances which created your hormonal imbalance, right? Once that is done, they'll give you different tools. I mean, I explained you how to declutter, how to accept, how to forgive, and all this, how to write a story, how to look into your emotional guidance system, and how to correct it. All those things will be explained in person. I gave an introduction to them. I mean, 20 minutes is not sufficient to explain all those things, but for each person, it is different, right? You may not require all the principles. So whatever is specific to you, those things will be given to you. Now, so can all of you come online? I mean, start your videos or whatever. And how many of you are actually looking for a solution for PCOS? And how many are actually here to learn about PCOS? So learn about PCOS and not suffering with PCOS. How many? Dietitians and all? Just raise your hand. Okay. Only 2 dietitians. 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And anyone actually wanted looking for a solution for PCOS? Are there anyone have a PCOS problem and wanted to find a solution? Yes. Okay. So we have a program for this. As I said, those who are looking for the solution, please continue in the WhatsApp group, and those videos, all these videos are available to you. And the first 3 videos are not of that good quality. I'll try to redo that, and we'll share it again. And those who are interested in signing up for this particular program, right? And you can contact your counselor, the counselor from whom you received your call. You can reach out to them, and they will explain you what the process is and how to go about, how to take up this particular program and get yourself healed of this particular condition. Okay. With that, I conclude my session, and it is 7 already. And I open the session for discussion. Right. Whatever questions you have, you can come online or come on video, or I mean, just don't post it on chat. It is difficult for me to go through all the these things. Yeah. You can straight away ask the questions. Thank you. Yeah, the floor is open for Q&A.
Sir, this is Neelam. There was a question from Ruby ma'am. I am really not sure if she is available still or not.
Neelam, your voice is very low.
Ma'am, we had a question from Ruby ma'am in the beginning. I guess she can ask now.
Yes, you can, but your voice is pretty low. Now it's fine.
I mean, at least tell me this. Is the 5th session, does it make any sense to you? Are you able to take some value from this particular session? Yes? You can raise your hand or post something. No? Only one yes. 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 Right. So, I mean, can someone tell at least what is your key takeaway from this particular session? One. I mean, our coaches, please, not you. Let the guests speak. One fundamental takeaway. Anyone? Know your body well. I mean, you can come on, you can unmute yourself and speak. Healing is within and not in the medicines. Energy and mass concept of atom. The symptoms your body is giving you and try to solve that. Okay. Anyone? I mean, like, just, you don't have to switch on your video if you are not comfortable, but still you can speak. Yeah, Neelam, what is the question? I mean, I think nobody is willing to talk. What is the question?
Sir, there were two questions. One was from Vinuta. She's asking, with PCOS problem, can I conceive?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of our coaches, I mean, is an expert over here, and she helped so many PCOS patients conceive, helped in conceiving, right? It is not a permanent thing. No disease is permanent, not even cancer.
So there was another question regarding the seed cycle, whether the seed cycle works for a PCOS person or not.
See, seed cycling as a concept is good, right? What happens? What is there in a seed? Let's try to objectively try to analyze this. What is there in a seed? Is consuming seeds as part of your lifestyle? Part of your regular meal? No, it is not, right? We are supposed to consume seeds as well. But do we consume? No. We are supposed to consume fruits on a regular basis. But we eat fruits only on Vinayak Chavati, right? Ganesh Chaturthi. We offer the fruits to the God because he is not eating. Finally, we have to eat. We are forced to eat. Otherwise, we don't eat fruits. Fruit is not part of our meal, right? Do we eat raw vegetable salad? We eat them only when we go to a restaurant. It is not part of our meal. Okay, there are so many things that we don't do on a regular basis. So that creates imbalance. What is there in seeds? Seed contains essential oils, essential fatty acids. Okay, so if you start giving that, it is trying to correct the hormonal imbalance that has already been set up in our body. So that is trying to address the problem. And as I said, unless and otherwise you look into the cause and address it, right? Yeah, seed cycling is like, again, cutting down the branches. But if your cause remains, right? If your cause still remains, and again, you will end up with having the same problem. Seed cycling is being used by dietitians nowadays a lot, and it is wonderful. It works effectively. But as I said, it is not the solution. It is one of the solutions. And that decision has to be made by your coach, your dietitian.
I want to ask one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, exercise is affecting body for this for PCOS. It's creating paining. Whenever I started exercise, I'm getting the problem. If I stop the exercise, and it's normal, is it possible?
Doing exercises.
Yeah, like in a gym or some online exercise, I'm doing that kind of exercise. I'm
Why are you
getting
doing
problem. Huh?
Why are you doing?
For like normal, like nowadays lockdown is there, coronavirus, home. So instead of walking or something physical activity, I am started to do exercise for like normal routine life for the for that only. But then I started the problem. Before that, I don't find any problem.
What
and in
problem?
fact, I stopped for a 1 month. That time also, I don't find any problem with my body. So is it affected with that problem also?
So are you talking about physical pains because of physical activity, physical body pains, or you're talking about the periods?
Periods. I'm getting a problem in the periods. If I started exercise, I don't getting my periods and I'm starting having a pain. I went to the doctor. He checked and he told me I have a cyst. So because of that, I'm getting pain and all that. But if I stop exercise, it is normal for a 1 month. But again, I started exercise. Again, the same problem come.
So again, just like seed cycling, exercise is like part of the treatment. It is not the treatment. So unless and otherwise your food, lifestyle, stress, and the root cause are not addressed in an optimal way, right? So it is not a comprehensive approach. That could be the reason.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
So there are two more questions.
From Preeti. Should we restrict dairy and gluten during PCOS?
Dairy and gluten. See, why there are people with gluten insensitivity? We need to ask that question first. So don't think that gluten sensitivity is a permanent thing. Got it? Even your genes are malleable. What is malleable? Programmable. So either you can switch on your genes or switch off your certain genes. Got it? So if people are having problem with gluten, that means what? They are unable to process that particular protein which is present in wheat, rye, and barley. Okay. So why is it that? Why the problem is there in the first place? So if we explore that and try to fix, sorry. If we try to look into the cause for that gluten sensitivity and try to address from the root cause, right? Then it is fine. So the question here is, gluten and dairy should gluten and dairy be avoided in PCOS? The answer is, if you are sensitive, avoid it for some time, right? For dairy and gluten. But gluten and gluten-containing foods and dairy are not contraindicated in all PCOS cases. Only if you have existing lactose intolerance as well as gluten sensitivity, then anyway you have to avoid that. But as I said, like, there is no one-size-fits-all guidelines for this, right? They are only guidelines. They are to be advised by a professional, not by general public and taking a tip from there, a tip from here, and try to experiment on your body. If you think that your health is cheap, right, it is worthless, and you can play all the things whatever you want with your body. but at least give value to your body. I mean, the kind of value you give it to this is more valuable to us, right? Not our body. We go to beautician, we go to parlors, and we do a lot of stuff to our hair. I mean, when did you visit a dietitian and had a professional advice? Because we are not worried. We think that we know everything because WhatsApp is a huge university. We get all the information, right? So something worked for someone is not going to work for you. Everyone, your fingerprints are unique. That means you are unique. Got it? So
there's another question from Manisha, ma'am. She's asking, how would your consultant provide solution with the diet only, or overall body and mind consultation is provided? And please elaborate the technique that you follow.
Yeah, there is no technique, right? They're all qualified nutritionists, all 17 coaches. And as I said, I mean, as we posted in our initial video, all of them collectively, they have like 160 plus cumulative years of experience, right? All of them are masters in nutrition, and some of them are PhDs, MPhils. So they are dietitians, but they don't give you a diabetic diet plan or a PCOS diet plan or arthritis diet plan. They try to understand you first, you as a person. What is your lifestyle? What is your preference? What is your stress level like? And they try to identify what is triggering PCOS in your case. They work on your lifestyle, they work on your mindset, and they work on your emotions, and they also give you a diet plan. So every week they'll do, just like a dietitian reviews weekly your diet food diary. They will review that. And if at all any changes are needed, they help you with those changes. And if at all there are certain habits which are counterproductive to your health, right? How to get rid of those unserving habits and unserving belief systems, how to get out of that. This that will be taught to you over a course of 3 months.
I guess that's the last question we have. Does PCOS related to hypothyroidism?
Yes, 100%. I mean, if you recollect, when I spoke about linear model and holistic model, right? Every hormone is connected to every other hormone in our body. Okay. So, see, PCOS, there are like 3 to 4 types of PCOS. There is a, I explained that in the videos I shared, video links I shared with all of you. Different types of PCOS. If a particular hormone is not being produced in certain quantity, it is not an isolated event. It is connected with all hormones in the body, right? You try to get that particular point. Okay. So, especially in women, if a woman is feeling low about herself and depressed, that means, and she is hating herself for being a woman, and she is refusing to accept her womanhood, and thinks that periods is a nuisance every month that they have to go through. And they think that, okay, if I have delayed period, I mean, once in 3 months, that is fine. Instead of 12 months in a year, I mean, I have to suffer only 4 times in a year. So unfortunately, these are wrong and unhealthy belief systems. If a person is thinking like that, that means their body is depressed. When body is depressed, cells, they don't perform metabolism. When metabolism is not happening, what will thyroid will come and do to that particular cell, right? You don't give milk packets to a house which is locked, right? Yeah. You don't keep your fans and ACs lights on in a house which is locked and which is not occupied. So if a cell is depressed, the majority of the cells in your body are depressed. That means there is no metabolism happening. And what is thyroid hormone? It is the key for metabolism. If the cells are like empty, not doing any work, what will thyroid do? So thyroid will downsize itself. So here everything is connected. So you cannot identify on your own unless and otherwise you know the holistic principles, right? How to look into, how to take a case history. So for that, you need a coach who is trained in holistic principles. That here the coaches will provide you that.
how to find what we are doing wrong, how to find out that point where we are wrong.
Yeah, if you look at the video number 1 and video number 3, declutter, I gave you exercises of how to do memory mapping and how to use emotional guidance system in day 1. I explained, I shared a PDF as well. So if you do those 2 things, you can do, right?
Okay. Thank you.
You can identify, you can start identifying. So if you want to help yourself on your own, right, you're welcome to do that. But if you let a professional do it for you, then it is much easier.
Yeah, better. Of course, it's better. Yeah.
Sir, Meena ma'am is asking for sharing of PDF again.
Yeah, I'll share that. Not a problem. In which group are you? I mean, for both the groups, I'll be sharing that this thing. And these videos and PDFs and access to all this in PDF you can download to your system or mobile, and you can use it anytime. But the video access to these 5 videos will be, and 2 more videos I shared, access will be for next 7 days. And those of you who are interested in taking professional help and wanted to get in touch, I mean, want to sign up for this program, for details of the fee and how it goes and all about, all the coaches will be there in the group for next 7 days. You can be in touch with them, right? And try to find, get the details. I explained you, it is a 3 months program, right? There will be weekly reviews, and every week your diet, I mean, all 7 days diet will be reviewed on every week, right? And you can have unlimited call-ins whenever you have any problem or facing an issue. You can call them in. So this is the program that we are offering, and make best use of it. And as I said, you are unique. Don't follow, right? Don't follow other people's diet plans. At least, I mean, you deserve a diet plan for yourself, right? You deserve a better health, right? Yeah. Don't make your health a cheap affair. All right, then.
Sir, one last question if we can take.
Yeah.
That's from Tabassum Patel. She's asking, what are the charges of dietitians want to get trained under you virtually?
Yeah, I mean, all the training happens virtually only. Tabassum will be sharing you the details, or I'll give you a link over here. You can just go and click this link and you will get all the details about the training that I do for dietitians, right? You click on this link, copy it and paste it in your browser, and you'll get all the details. Anything else?
Not that I can see, sir.
Yeah. If you don't have any further question, I mean, you can keep posting your queries, and those who haven't gone through the videos, and I promise to make those 3 videos again, right? Try to come up with proper, what do you say? Proper audio. So I think 4th and 5th are clear audio wise, and 1, 2, 3, I try to do it and share it. I mean, in some time. Okay. All right, then. Take care. All the best, and thank you for joining in.
Messages pouring in. So from lot of clients, thank you messages are pouring in, sir.
Okay. In WhatsApp or?
In the chat. In the chat.
Yeah, chat. Okay. Sure. Okay then. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, forgot to wish you all. I wish you a happy International Women's Day. And our handle for this particular program is choose to challenge PCOS. Don't let PCOS rule you. Okay. Rule your life. Thank you. Thank you so much. And good night. Have a